things I find hardest in life is being positive. And not just things here and there, but just in life in general. Because I am a very negative, pessimistic person. You could go as far as saying I'm a huge follower of Murphy's Law, which is basically the belief that everything that can go wrong will go wrong. Which I kind of keep that mentality about like every aspect of life. Whether it's me being in a relationship, which I've jumped into a lot of relationships and been like, yeah, this is bound to fail because she's super smart, super beautiful, and just way out of my league, and she's going to end up dumping me. Which a lot of times it ended up being like that anyway, but I'm thinking if I were more positive, maybe it wouldn't have ended that way. Any of them, really. I mean, let's face it, being negative, there's nothing really good about being negative, because once you're negative, you just see everything as negative, and then life just becomes a drag, basically. That even the slightest good news, the first thing that comes to your mind is, yeah, there's some bad flip side of this. Which I guess you could say really is just more of a defense mechanism, like negativity. That basically negativity exists as a defense mechanism for people, like, you know, so that they don't get their hopes crushed so like heavy and hard, you know? But being positive is never really a bad thing, because positivity gets you moving, gets you going forward, you know? While negativity always weighs you down and keeps you from doing things that you want to do, you know? Because I've always kind of restricted myself because of my negativity, because I automatically assume that I'm a fail at everything I do, so why bother trying? I have that mentality about everything. I try to write stories, but nothing I do is ever good enough. I'm like, oh, this sucks. So I will scrap entire projects simply because of that. One of those examples where negativity just ruled over me. If I were positive, maybe I would have been like, okay, maybe I can just go back and change it up to critique it a little bit so that it fits more of the vision I hold, and maybe it'll feel a little bit better to me. That could have been like my more positive outlook if I had one. Positivity always gets the juices flowing, and you know, it just makes you feel just so much better. You know, you just feel great when you're positive. You know, so I would go as far as saying being positive is healthy, where being negative is very, very unhealthy for you. But don't get me wrong, there are definitely downsides to being positive, like especially if you're like too damn positive, and there is such thing as being too positive. You know, because if you're like so positive about everything, if your outlook is that freaking positive, it's kind of a bad thing, because when even a slightly most like minuscule amount of negativity enters your life, it brings you down hard. But you don't want to go out of your way and be like filled with negativity so that the point is even the most positive of things happen to you and you still don't appreciate it. What you have to do is kind of find a balance between the two. That you don't want to get too overly positive, but you don't want to be too negative either. What you want to do is have a very like always positive outlook, but also keep like the negative thoughts there in the back of your mind, but you know, realistically negative thoughts, not just like, oh god, this is a terrible idea, it sucks. I feel like this isn't something that I only deal with. I feel like a lot of people can do with a little bit more positivity in their life, which I know is not the most easiest thing to do, especially when people are in like certain situations, like, which I won't go into, but just there are situations in life you can't really look at like the positive for. But I know it's hard, but I think it's worthwhile pushing for that positivity, because you have to keep your hopes up, because without hopes, we as humans, we have nothing without hopes, because our hopes lead to our aspirations and our dreams, and our hopes are what keep us moving forward day to day. Really minute to minute, second to second. So make sure you hit that like button and subscribe. Leave a comment down below. You know, tell me like, are you a very positive person or a very negative person? Anyway, that's about it for this video. I will see you guys, you know, next Wednesday, I think. Yeah, next Wednesday, because I'm doing videos every Wednesday from now on. So I will see you guys next Wednesday with an all new video. Until then, please be happy, be safe, be positive. Just keep on living, and I will see you next time. Later.
Oh, I still don't get it.